Welcome to Papa Duke's Bedtime Stories. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am Duke Pierce Reed, and I am the author and narrator of this story. Before we begin, tell me in the comments where you are joining me from tonight. Your presence inspires my imagination. There are always new stories to write. If this story captivates you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Every interaction keeps the creative fires burning in me, and I thank you in advance. Now, let this tale unfold. Episode 7, Bedlam, a Wychwood Ghost Story. 1895, London. The rain began before dawn, drumming the casements, trickling through cracks, drawing dark veins along the plaster. Somewhere in the ward below, a woman was singing, low and tuneless, like the hum of an unseen machine. Emily lay awake on her narrow bed, still hearing Tink's whisper from the garden. You must be brave enough to see what she sees. When the bell rang for breakfast, she did not rise. The Skycoats passed her door without comment. They were used to her silences. She waited until the corridor quieted again, then slipped from her bed and pressed her ear to the floorboards. From far below came a faint scrape of metal, the rhythm of footsteps pacing in a circle. Tink! She followed the sound down the servants' stairs into the lower corridor, where the gas lamps hissed and flickered. The air smelled faintly of wax and salt. He was waiting in the old hydrotherapy chamber, the quiet room, where no one could hear you scream. Its great copper basins lay empty, echoing faintly. Condensation slicked the tile floor. A single candle burned in the grate, its flame bending against the polished metal walls. You came, he said, not turning. I shouldn't have. Emily's voice was barely a breath. If they find us, they won't. The doctor's away today, and the matron sleeps when the wraith walks. Emily froze. You mean she's here? Tink smiled faintly. She's always here. He gestured toward the largest basin, where a small mirror lay flat across the rim. Its surface quivered, though no air stirred. This, he said, is how we ask her what she wants. Emily's pulse thickened. You mean to summon her? No. He lit another candle beside the mirror. She's already summoned you. The flame bent backward. Shadows breathed along the walls, and the air thickened like smoke. Look, Tink said. Emily leaned forward. Her reflection swam uncertainly, then shifted, the background darkening, forming another room entirely. Tall windows, black drapery, a hearth she knew too well. Shipton Court, she breathed. In the reflection, a woman stood by the fire, young, beautiful, dressed in mourning black. Slowly, she began to turn her head. Emily recoiled. No. Don't look away, Tink warned softly. If you break the gaze, she'll follow you out. The air grew colder. The woman in the mirror smiled. Grandmother, whispered Emily. The dowager was young, serene, and unspeakably sad. Tink's hand came to rest between her shoulders, steadying her. Then another face loomed in the mirror, close, too close, like something pressing against thin glass, ready to break through and seize her throat. Emily flinched, but Tink's hand held her firm. Keep watching, he said. If you turn away, she comes through. The face withdrew, hissing. The vision steadied, and the scene changed. Lady Jane moved from the fireplace. The surroundings brightened into a grand chamber Emily recognized, the gold salon of Oddington House. Within the gilded room, the past began to breathe again. She saw her father and Uncle G.C. as boys, no older than 10 or 12. Their mother, The widow Lady Jane stood beside Baron Gregory, the constant visitor. Mother Shipton hovered near the fire, her eyes restless. Dr. Lee, the scholar, sat puffing an ancient pipe, and Uncle Thomas, twin to the boy's late father, lingered near the window, silent. "I want to stay with Grandmother Shipton," the younger boy complained. "Now, G.C.," said Baron Gregory, his tone indulgent, "Mother Shipton has no use for young scamps running about that old place." "She has every use," said Lady Jane coolly. "But there are matters at Oddington unsuitable for children, many new arrangements." Her gaze flicked to the Baron, her hand waving faintly as if to brush away an unseen insect. Mother Shipton gave a dry laugh. "Nonsense! The boys shall stay with me. After all, Shipton Court belongs to young Johnny now. I only keep house within its walls, and Twitch needs his exercise," she said. "Hardly fitting for their education," muttered Dr. Lee, striking his match. Smoke drifted between them. Mother Shipton turned her head, reptilian, tongue flicked against her teeth. "You shut up, Lee." The boys giggled behind their hands. The doctor glared, but said nothing. "Well," said Lady Jane, shaking her eldest from her skirts, "it may be best. They'll be happier in the country while I see to certain affairs at Oddington." She said it lightly, yet her fingers trembled as she adjusted her veil. The mirror rippled. Emily felt the breath go from her lungs. The scene darkened again, and the wraith's face flashed across the glass, leering, monstrous, its mouth a wound of shadow. Then it was gone. Within the vision, the gold salon lay hushed. The decision was made. The boys darted away to pack their trunks. The Baron and Lady Jane whispered by the fire. Dr. Lee perused the Gentleman's Magazine. Mother Shipton sat close to the flames, her eyes reflecting them. The sharp crack of breaking porcelain shattered the calm. A maid stood frozen, shards of a cup in her hands. The air grew bitter cold. The fire sputtered. Everyone turned toward the hearth. Mother Shipton stood upon her chair, arms raised, eyes white. "If we are numbered," she intoned, "we are not yet too few." "Good heavens!" muttered the Baron. Lee's pipe fell from his teeth. Lady Jane clutched her skirts, but said nothing. Mother Shipton swayed, her voice rising to a strange cadence. "And when we are scattered, hunted anew, yet stand, say the signs, and so we shall do." Lee found his voice. "Enough, old woman! What devilry!" "She said," came the old crone's reply, her voice no longer her own. "Who said?" asked the Baron, unsettled. "Who speaks through you?" Mother Shipton's arms trembled but did not lower. "She said, their seed shall not grow but wither and die. Fields barren and fallow. That is what she said." Then, calm as a cat, resettling by the fire, she sat, drew her shawl about her, and stared into the rekindled flames. Uncle Thomas spoke, his tone grave. "She claims the family is accursed because of what was done in the field." "What field?" asked the Baron. "The barrow," said Thomas. "The ancient mound, the theft of grave goods." "All artifacts accounted for," said Lee quickly, his defensiveness betraying him. "No theft." Thomas's voice hardened. "The 4 laborers who dismantled the shrine are all dead." Silence. The fire snapped. "2 crushed beneath a falling beech," Thomas went on. "The others drowned in the Severn." "Coincidence," said the Baron, waving his jeweled hand. "Men die, trees fall." "They were not cutting trees," said Thomas. "The beech fell of its own accord, striking them both in the heart of the Wychwood." "And the others?" Lee's voice was tight. "Their wagon overturned in a ditch. Barely enough water to wet their boots, yet they drowned, faces down, pinned by the weight." Lady Jane fainted. The wraith's reflection swelled across the glass, its mouth opening to a wound of shadow. "Where are my beads?" it hissed. Emily seized the mirror, raising it high to smash, but Tink caught her wrists. "No," he cried, easing it from her hand. She tore free and ran into the corridor's darkness. The echo of her steps vanished into Bedlam's catacombs. Tink set the mirror back against the wall. The wraith's face returned, gleaming with malice. "You no longer need the Lady Emily," it whispered. "Look." The glass cleared to reveal an office lined with books and cabinets. Nameplate on the desk read Professor Wickens, Archaeology. In a display case nearby, artifacts glimmered beneath a green-shaded lamp. A small tag read, Oddington Finds, Reverend Dr. D. M. Lee, M.A.D.D. 1787. Among the relics were several strings of glass and stone beads. Tink's reflection stared back at him, pallid and shaking, framed by the glow of the case. "You see," hissed the wraith, "my beads. He has them. Bring them to me, and I am free. If I am free, you are free." Tink frowned. "Free? I can leave this place whenever I choose." The wraith's eyes glowed red. "Do you not know who you are?" Her voice thickened, salt water and wind. "You are mine. I took you. I saved you. You are mine." Tink shuddered. He had always wondered about his past. The doctors called it amnesia, but he knew it was more. Fragments came to him, a brother, a fire, a sea, faces without features. "Yes," breathed the wraith, "let me show you." The mirror blurred, reshaping into a windowless room with sloped ceiling. A candle burned beside a straw pallet. A boy of 12 lay dying, his face ruined by flame. Another knelt beside him, gripping his hand. "Hold on, Janice," said the kneeling boy. "I can fix this. I'm your brother. I can fix you." He opened a small leather satchel, drew out something wet and pale, and stretched it over the ruined face. The dying boy's voice trembled. "Pico, no, let me go. I can fix you," Pico wept. "If this doesn't take, I'll fetch another, as many as it takes." A fishmonger's knife slipped from the satchel. 3 more fresh faces fell with it to the floor. Tink recoiled. Tears ran down his own cheeks. The wraith's laughter hissed like steam. The scene shifted, waves crashed, a ship heaving beneath stormlight. Tink found himself on the deck, a cutlass in hand. He fought another man at the rails, wind shrieking, sea raging. "You're to blame, you and your hag," he shouted through the rain. "I'll send you overboard, then I'll have her and her face." "You'll die trying, Pico Taylor," the other man bellowed as they grappled. The waves rose, twisting into arms. A woman's face formed in the foam, barnacled, seething, her hair of seaweed. She reached for Pico, and he rolled into her grasp. The sea witch's arms tightened, pulling him under. Tink gasped as water closed over him, darkness wrapping the silk. He met her eyes beneath the waves, the same eyes that now watched him from the mirror. "You are not Shipton," her thought echoed, "but you are mine." Tink stumbled backwards, fell to the tiles. Breath tore from his chest. Memory and nightmare fused. He had drowned, and yet he lived, walking the earth, wearing borrowed faces. He fled the quiet room, leaving the mirror glowing in the dark. Within its glass, the wraith smiled. End of episode 7. I hope this episode of Bedlam, a Wychwood Ghost Story, has enthralled you, dear listener, and brings you back for the next. Were you surprised by the plot twists? Or did you expect something altogether different? Share your thoughts below. The comments are always helpful, and I really do enjoy reading them. If this Wychwood Ghost Story captivates you, please like and subscribe to Papa Duke's Bedtime Stories for more, written and narrated by me, Duke Pierce Reed. You can purchase digital copies of most of my books online, from Apple Books, Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Nook, Kobo Rakuten, and dozens of fine online shops worldwide. Thank you for joining me tonight.